I want to show you how easy it is to customize a sign for a wedding or baby names. You can use this for all sorts of things.
So we made magnets. We just got a pack of magnets from, I think, Amazon
Hmm.
and hot glued them on to our IOD molds that we sell. And we used apothecary labels and put the magnets on that and stamped their name. And we lost one, but luckily we found it.
They're rubber, so they bounced and they're tiny.
It was not where we thought it was at
No,
all.
it took forever to find that thing. So we're using this grid line mount to line up the name. You can just freehand them and just put them on there, but look how good that is. So this was just an extra little thing I thought of to put on their fridge to again personalize their name.
It's just nice when you're starting a family and you've got some personal touches to your home.
Yeah, and this is a really fun project to do. So we're putting a little dark wax around the edges to make it a little antiqued. But when they sent me their wedding invitations, I knew their style was probably rustic, and I knew they had a family home in Colorado, and they visit there a lot. So I just made the gift bag special with the same stamps. And right here, we use paint sticks on the back of two boards to make the board wide enough for the name. And it was a paint stick, so it kind of split. We had to kind of work on it a
Yes,
little
the
bit.
nail gun went right through the paint stick,
Yeah.
and so we tried to do a screw and it split. So we just used these little nails, and that trick with the needle nose pliers keeps the nail in place while you hammer it in.
So you don't hammer your finger. And right here, we're just beating it up with the hammer and the needle nose plier, because then when you use this dark and decrepit patina wax, which is a faux stain, non-toxic, non-messy, washes out of your brushes, it's the best ever. You will not want to use
See, it
stain
gets
after that.
really dark in those
Yeah,
crevices
we
from when
love
we beat
it.
it up a little bit.
Yes, it's the best ever. Don't forget your edges.
And then we used a Joy Cricut cutter to get this stencil in their last name.
It's a one-time use product right here. You can actually buy the stencil product and use your Joy Cricut cutter and do a several time use stencil. But I just love this stuff, and we've used this a lot in our workshops. And I will have a video eventually on how to use the Joy Cricut cutter. Right here, we're putting the
Yes.
transfer tape over. It's a whole nother process, but just kind of showing you where you went, because you can use our stamps. We have the larger stamps that are about that size actually, and stamp the whole name on there with the iron orchid. And we'll put that link in the description to some of the bigger stamps.
Then we just found some transfers that kind of matched their decor and their aesthetic. And they like trees, woods, deer. They
They're
like to go
hunters.
hunter. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hunting.
Yep.
So that's kind of what we were looking for, kind of gathering our composition up.
And we do have this stamp. It's winter trees. And Caitlin figured out how to put that. And I thought that was really cute to put the deer and then the established down there.
So now we're putting our stencil on there, and we used a ruler to kind of get it even on both sides so it wasn't leaning one way or the other, it just was straight across. Then we just peeled up this transfer tape. You keep the blue part down so that you can stipple paint on there and get your color.
Yeah, we use the DIY Debbie's Design Diary clay paint and stippled it on there. And it does need to be sealed, and you'll see us doing that in a minute.
We used the color crinoline because they used gray and creams in their house. And so if you like more of the white look, then we have an amazing variety of the DIY paint. There's so many colors to choose from.
We just let the dark and decrepit dries really fast, and we did heat it up with a heat gun to make sure, because this is a little bit sticky, this one-time use stencil, and you don't want to pull off your color. And then right here, she's got I cut it too close and to give myself any room, so that's why we had you could put painter's tape on the top so when you stipple your paint over. But since it's sealed with the, color of the wood tone, we could wipe it off with a baby wipe if it, right here, because we don't want to blur the crinoline cream color paint. I'm just kind of being real, I'm just splotching it on there with a sponge so that I don't drag that cream color onto the
Yeah, it's really important with these kinds of projects since this is reactivated with water to seal your paint first if you're going to be adding anything else so that it doesn't get reactivated and smudge or run or anything.
Yeah, so we put that sealer on there, and then we're just lightly with the brush, again, so that we don't drag the cream onto the wood tone. And then we made sure that's really dry because we did let some of the deer head transfer cover onto some of the letters, which looks really cute. You'll see that in a minute. We're practicing here.
Yes, we wanted to know if we liked the ink or the paint better. And now we're using this transfer from Crimson Velvet. We do have some in stock, kind of a little Christmassy transfer.
This is so fun.
Transfers are so easy to use. It comes with the stick, and you just have to find something to put them on, and it's really easy and fun.
And they all blend. So if you have one and have some scraps, usually it'll go with another one, and you don't have to use the same transfer on one project. So we did mess up a little bit. I'll let Caitlin explain that, how we kind of lost some of the deer image, but we just left it.
We put established 2025 below the deer, right like that. We should have sealed the deer like we did the last name, so it didn't pick up any of the transfer. But because of how sticky the stencil is, it did pick up some of the transfer, and so you'll see right here it just picked it up. I tried, even though it was so sticky, it just, you can't, it's not really that noticeable. Right now it is because we're zoomed in on it, but it looked really good on the
It looked
product.
like it was meant to be distressed because we kind of did a rustic look. We, made the wood dented.
Yeah, and his face was still there, so it ended up not being too bad. But keep that in mind for your projects to seal your transfers.
Especially if you're going to do some more to it, just to make sure. Because they do have to be sealed anyways. If you're putting it on mirror glass, you don't have to, but if it's going on anything else, you need to put a water-based top coat on it or the wax, which we were stenciling somewhere over it, so we didn't want to use wax. So now we're just taking this little tool, getting the stencil pieces out.
Which is so satisfying.
It is so fun.
And then I use the end to fill in some paint.
Yeah, she dotted her little tool with paint because we actually scraped some off and it just like painted it back on there. It was perfect.
And now we're using some more tree transfer and putting that on there.
This was one that is retired and I don't have any more of, this big tree. This is a scrap transfer I had from something else that just worked.
So even though it's sped up, they are really fast and easy to put on. It won't take too long to put transfers on your project.
Oh, that's so fun. And then you just rub it down with your finger and then we seal it with the water-based top coat so it doesn't come off later. And right here, you can use, like what we said, the paint or ink with our stamps. And did we do both or did we just?
We just did paint, but right here you can mask the trees and kind of give like the look of some trees are farther back or closer up than others in like a forest. And so that's what we were practicing here to see how we wanted the layout of the trees.
Yeah, we just did it on that. And that's why I used for the gift bag and tag. Look how good that looks.
See, it looks like it's a little far back. So we tried the ink and we couldn't really see it with the stain. So we wiped it off a little bit and then went in with a kind of several different
See, it just
paint
doesn't show up. It just does not show up as good with the ink on that dark wood. So because the liquid or the dark and decrepit is a sealer, it was kind of,
it didn't take any off.
So we were able to just kind of wipe it off and go again.
So we used a brayer and I kind of rolled the brayer in several different colors of green and brown and then rolled it on. And you have to kind of be fast because the DIY paint dries really fast. And so we hurried and got it on there and masked it and then got the second tree up and it looks so good.
It was pretty cute. Then I had that little star. I think that was from the velvet.
Yes, from Crimson Velvet.
And it just added a little rustic cuteness.
So here's the finished product.
Love it.
Please like and subscribe.
Here is a nursery sign I made. This is my grandson's name, and it turned out really cute.